Welcome back to 40-Day Refresh. Today we're going to continue to work on your one-year plan. This is an exciting thing. You've been going through this process so far. As a quick reminder, if you don't have access to the online course and email series that go with this program, they can be a big help to you. You can go to danielfoley.net/40-day refresh, the number 40-day refresh, to get access to those materials there. But let's continue talking about building out your one-year plan. So number one, what is our one thing for the year? We're going to do a quick review. What is your one thing for the year? The one major project? What are the success criteria? Listed out, bullet pointed. What are they? What are the areas where you're going to need to grow, both internally as a person and in skill sets that are needed to make that plan happen? What are the areas where you are going to need help? And who can help you? What are those areas going to need to be? Who can help you? What areas do you need help in? And then yesterday we talked about dividing your one-year project, your one major thing, into 3 subcategories. So for me, it was, in my one-year plan is to build out the next phase of the Abundant Life Blueprint, which when you fill out your plan and you submit your plan, you'll actually get an invitation to join us into the next phase there. Well, I'm hopefully excited to see you in that next phase. But when we break that down, for me, it was onboarding people, helping them get their plans, get it clear on where they're trying to go, having a path of progression lined up and in place, a curriculum to walk them through, help them to stay on the path and to gain some traction on their plan and keep moving forward with their plan. And then also the third part was to build some community around the plan to keep people engaged and feel like they're part of something, and doing it together with people, it makes a big difference. So I have 3 subcategories inside of my one-year plan, which was to build the Abundant Life Blueprint, which was onboarding people into it, getting their plan, the path of progression, and then building community around that. So underneath that, so I've got my 3 primary targets that I'm looking at. I want to look at what are the action steps. So when I look at, for example, onboarding people into the program. So we use this program right now, we're talking about 40-Day Refresh, to help people get onboarded, to get their plan, to get clear on where they want to go, to make sure we have the fundamentals in place before we move into the next phase of the program, and to make sure that we are working with people who want to move their life forward. Because what I found is this: if you have a hard time developing your plan and you're constantly looking back saying, oh, I don't want to do this, I want to go back to the way that things used to be, maybe you're not the best fit for someone who's ready to move into the next phase. So I want to be working with people who, you know what, I have a plan, I know where I want to go with my life, and I want to gain some traction and continue to move forward with that plan. What are those action steps? Okay, I want to list it out. So in the onboarding process, all right, I got to have the 40-day program ready to go. I got to have the emails ready. I got to have the videos ready. I've got to have the place to submit your one-year plan. I've got to have a way for you to submit that and get enrolled into the next phase of the program. All these types of things. I got to have all the steps in onboarding. When I look at the path of progression, we go through the content in my books on 7 Days with Jesus to make sure we have the spiritual life in order. We get we go through a teaching on the yearly cycle to make sure you're plugged into God's rhythm and God's timing for your life. We go through the book Cracking Heaven's Code to make sure that you're renewing your mind and you're thinking properly about things, and that your health is in order. We go through the next piece of content, which is about the 8th date, which is about making a commitment to follow this plan, for God's plan for your life, making a commitment to do that, and also how to self-navigate, how to know when I'm on track with my plan and how to know when I'm off, and more importantly, when I recognize that I'm off the path, when I'm off track, learning how to self-correct and get back on the path. So I know how to do that. I've got a plan in place for how to do that. And then we go into practical teachings on finances and health and business and money and family and purpose and community, and we go through the practical teachings on each area of the blueprint. That's a lot of curriculum. So I've got a lot of steps to make sure that we've got all the curriculum lined up in order, that we're teaching it properly and in proper sequence. So those are some action steps that I've got listed out. So what I want you to be thinking about today, what are the action steps? In my 3 areas, what are the action steps that are going to have to take place for me to reach my success criteria? And then the important thing is, not only do you need to list them, you need to put them in the proper order. So for example, I can't have people submitting a plan if I don't have the process walking them through how to submit the plan. So I have to put the steps in order. There's certain things that need to be done in a certain order, because I can't do this thing until I've done this thing already. So what is the order of the plan? So I want you to list out. You might not know all the action steps right now. That's okay. You're going to learn some more probably as you get further into executing your plan. There's going to be things that come up that you didn't realize you needed to do. But as best as you know them right now, what are the action steps that you need to list out? And I want you to put them into proper sequential order, because it's going to give you an execution plan. This is the first thing I need to do. This is the second thing I need to do. Put them in the proper sequential order. And now we've got some action steps that we can start to take to move forward with your plan.